This is David Patrick, Stock Charts and Market Video Update for August 26, 2026. The market's in a 10-day downtrend, and we're really going nowhere. And this is hard because it can be frustrating as a trader, as an investor. As patience is a very, very, very difficult position. While we sit here and wait, you got to preserve capital. You got to preserve those huge year-to-date gains. Trade light. We have NVIDIA after the bell, and let's wait for the next uptrend. Our numbers are crazy good. 330 trades this year. 3 no scales, 22 losers, 305 win, 92.4% win on the year, 56% doubling or more, 29.6% tripling or more. Record in every category. So looking at historical chart pattern comparisons, we've been doing this for over 10 years. We find a pattern, it repeats itself. They all diverge. They eventually diverge in days, weeks, sometimes even longer. This is 95 we've been looking at over here, 1995 on the NASDAQ, where you were in this wedge, you came down. Over here on the left is our market. In the wedge, came down. You came back up. So it's hard to tell, are we in this process or this process, but we're still holding the 50% fib, which is what the market's doing. So to me, even though the market's very boring and dull, we have to watch, we're not going to predict, for obviously the next close above 10 SMA to create the next uptrend, which probably is only going to be another 5 to 7 day uptrend again, which is fine. That's when we make our money. But rather than trying to pick a bottom and possibly be wrong, let's wait for the higher odds trade, which is what we always do. So S&P left, NASDAQ right. Here is our old wedges, and it's my least favorite pattern. And you came down, up on the NASDAQ. And now you're right back in the middle of the wedge, the old wedge. Now the S&P, here's the old wedge, and we're actually above it. So obviously that's a little bit more bullish. It's holding the 50-day moving average. It has bearish MACD. It's in a slight downtrend. It's really hard to have conviction on when the market's going to turn back on the next uptrend. According to that last model, it could be a matter of days. But once again, we're not in the business of predicting. We're in the business of reacting and trading ROE and trend. So take a look at all futures. Really in the middle of no man's land. Not much going on there. When we look at energy as a whole, a little fake breakout, came back down, and fake breakdown and V-bottom. So not a lot to do there. MACD bear cross coming. It's right at the 10 SMA. There's just no momentum. It's very, very sloppy. So when we look at financials, they look fine. They're just grinding really to no man's land, but they look fine. IBB was leading the other day. Has not really shown much price strength confirmation, but still looks fine. It's just super slow. Transports look bullish, but they're super slow. Industrials are right at the 10 SMA with sort of flat MACD, very slow. Semiconductors obviously have NVIDIA after the bell. They are creating a lower high so far, which is bullish. If it came down here, we did a double bottom, started an uptrend, that would be bullish. Or if we just once again get back above 600, that would be bullish. But we have to wait for that bullish scenario. Gold acting fine. We had some nice trades with that. We'll go to Bitcoin. We had this 200-day moving average magnet. I anticipated it to be resistance. It wasn't resistance. We blew right through it. So you're both flagging above it. So obviously your next long on Bitcoin is above this 81350. So if you're a Bitcoin trader, you're long when this uptrend started here. You probably scaled profits, and that's your next add is above the top of that bull flag at 81350. So that's my take on the crypto there. What else do we have in crypto land? Coin looks fine, but it's below the 200-day moving average. MicroStrategy, same, still looks bullish, but below the 200. It's hard to get too crazy with the block. Was on the focus list. I think that one paid. We go to Hood. Actually, that's really improving. Palantir has nothing to do with that, but once again, once you get above the 200-day moving average, see how you can get paid? Right near 161 to 180. That's a massive move. You never need to get the bottom. But man, when you get trend above moving averages, it's pretty bullish. All right, there's our treasuries, the TLT, tracking the 20-year. Nice V-bottom, and that's the reason why the market's V-bottoming. Everyone got paranoid of bonds. As soon as that tiny little fear came in the market, grinded higher. So let's check out our stocks. Apple, not a lot there. Amazon, not a lot there. Netflix, just grinding. It's not a lot of momentum. Tesla, we talked about it coming into this gap. It's almost filled. These aren't really great trades here. They've done what they're supposed to do on like 5-star ROE trades, and then they're back into resistance. Meta, right at the 50-day moving average resistance. Google, just has really done nothing for months. Nvidia, same thing, hasn't done anything for months. So, when you look at, we've had some, probably 2 or 3 good uptrends this year, and you look at our focus list and our numbers, and then you look at stocks, and some stocks haven't done anything the entire year. So to me, once again, it's all about trading. And right now, I'm not doing much of it until we're in the next uptrend. So AMD, which could easily happen, like I said, by Friday. CLAC, Light. Actually, Light looks pretty decent. The problem is you need to get back above here. And I think if you do, you're going to break out the new highs. Light looks pretty good. What else? Now Networks. That came off the highs and now off the lows. Not doing too much. Microsoft, Adobe, Intuit, Team. No, they got sleepy too. App Lovin'. No. Expedia was a trade a while back. That's just grinding. There's just no momentum on most stuff. Baidu doing nothing. Palo Alto, that's way up the highs now. Let's go to a little bit of the retail. Lulu, Elf. Elf is actually, we talked about this, new lows was on MACD. This is now, it's on its way to tripling. And it's filling this gap. We've been talking about bottoming process for this really for, seems like 3-4 months. And that's going to be a textbook example that we go back to. New lows without MACD, bull flag above the 50-day moving average, 10 through the 50, 10 through the 200, and 50 through the 200, and then come fill a gap. I mean, you can't really get too much more textbook than that for a bottoming process. Crowd, Datadog, no. Let's go to the financials, JP Morgan, Citigroup, Morgan Stanley. They're just, when I say no, they're just not looking like a new setup yet. Once again, that could change in minutes, seconds, or days. But right now, I don't see a big edge. BlackRock looks okay. Visa and MasterCard look the best out of really that sector, banking and credit card sector. ICE, CME, they're just grinding off those lows. Both of those, ICE and CME, did hit 52-week lows with MACD. So it is sort of unusual that they come up this far, this fast. But once again, real simple ROE, uptrend, and use your stop there. Might not be a 10-star ROE, but man, you're killing it with that trade. All right, let's go to oil. COP. Nice bounce off support. PSX, Valero. These are seeing very nice intraday swings off the lows today. So that's really good to see with that sector. Let's go to this IBB and see if we see anything. There's BIB, 52-week high yesterday. Amgen, 52-week high yesterday. Vertex, 52-week high yesterday. Jazz, 52-week high yesterday. Aluminum, 52-week high today. So sector continues to look great. LVS, MGM, Win, no, don't really like any of those. Spotify, PAYC, PCTY, those still look fine. They just have lost momentum. I'm a momentum trader, so I'm just going to be patient and wait for the MACD to turn up to get momentum. Snow doing nothing Monday. Intel, we talked about Palo Alto, we talked about Palantir. I think that's pretty much it. So you got NVIDIA after the bell. No reason for me to make this video long. Not much has changed. We know this is when we get paid. See this? That's a massive uptrend that can make your career. It can make your whole life, those kind of uptrends. And then you get mini uptrends like, that wasn't even really an uptrend with MACD. This. So, I mean, you really had 2 decent uptrends this year. These were just not good uptrends. And that's when you get paid. And right now, like I said, when you pull up these fibs, let's look at the Qs. You're holding this 50, which we opened the video saying 1995 holds the 50. If for some reason that would break, then we have to look for a double test of this low and maybe a new low without MACD. But the gap's holding, the 50% fib's holding, and we have NVIDIA tonight. So we're going to know a lot more by tomorrow's close or Friday's close. Until then, trade light, preserve those massive year-to-date gains, use the focus list, 5-minute ROE, and preserve capital. Have a great trading day. I'll see you near the close.